I don't wanna be inside for too long. I need my recess, even if I must play alone. I don't wanna be inside for too long. I need my recess, even if I must play alone. So let me outside, bitch. About to break my wrist, break my whole entire fist. Beating down the door so I can break up at this bitch. Yeah, break up at this bitch. Swear to God, I wanna break shit until there's nothing left. But sometimes I get so pissed off, I'm a danger to myself. And I don't need fucking counseling, fuck a doctor's help. All I need is you to listen when I tell you I'm in hell. Roses and canaries, containment is so scary. The only thing I know for certain is soon I'll be buried. Because if I cannot fly, then fuck it, I'd rather die. Is it too much to ask for to dive in the blue sky when I don't wanna be inside for too long? I need my recess, even if I must play alone. I don't wanna be inside for too long. I need my recess, even if I must play alone. So let me outside, bitch. About to break my wrist, break my whole entire fist. Beating down the door so I can break up at this bitch. Yeah, break up at this bitch. Break down walls like Kool-Aid Man. Really need my freedom, this life here is a bitch and I'm done with her ass, so I'm staying away from her grip. Yeah, I be knowing away at the meat of her knuckles like lions. Young nigga not lying, let me get free and I'm striking on that like a bison. Where's Papa, I'm flying. I pop them focus just to cope with the most intensified feelings of uselessness I feel when alone. Which is like all the time, therefore I'm always deep in my zone. If I don't come out soon, a nigga will not be here for long, swear.
Let's be real about Memphis.
Memphis. Nothing but Memphis. Everywhere we go, it's Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee, the beautiful land in the world.
Part two.
Part two.
Let it be known. My clever idea to do a part two. I'll take that.
Yeah, we got a new guest on today. Personal friend. I have known him since high school. Used to ride with him to class. Ride him to school every day
on the yellow bus.
Nah, he's right.
What's up, bro?
Right.
I'm trying to just come from bro.
I know, right? Former high school teammate. I remember back in freshman year of college. We used to always get in the elevator, meet him, Savage, our recurring guest, and the other boy, Matt. Savage anytime was a random person in the elevator. Savage used to turn around, start beatboxing. Me and Matt would be the hype man. This man go in freestyle. And now he's a rapper. I know him by DC or D Condy, but he goes by
Awfum.
Yes, sir.
AKA Weirdo from Memphis. What's going on, man?
Man, good to have you, my brother. After a great show on Friday. Good show.
Indeed. Thank you. Awesome. Good to be here, man.
How'd you feel after that show, man?
It's funny, man. Like towards the end of the show, I was like, dang, like I really prepared for this show because it's like the most breath I've ever had, like going into my last songs, and it felt pretty good after. I think the most weird part of the show is after when like all the like 300 or 400 people just walk up and all want to take a picture or sit there for like 2 minutes and talk about their inspiration while you making eye contact with everybody else. Like, all right, thank you. But yeah, that felt like a moment, man. It was a dope one, man.
Of course. And we definitely got to take it back to the beginning. The name, man. How you already know we got to ask about it, man. Where'd the name come from?
How the Awfum come about?
Yeah.
Man, it was... Y'all ever like thought about something like super quick and been like, it could be like this and this and this?
Yeah.
That's how I was. I was listening to a Earl Sweatshirt song called Kill, and he was like, Awfum. No off days, no debates, bitch. And then I was just sitting there on my bed and I was like, Awfum. It could be like a weirdo from Memphis and spell like this, and I'm gonna do it. And then I just sat there for a second. It's like, yeah, that's hard. And it just was like a lightning bolt like that.
Funny.
And I sat on it. That was like maybe my junior year of college. So I sat on it another year and a half before I actually got to like use it. And I'd be like, yeah, I already got my name I'm gonna use.
That's funny.
Yeah,
what makes you weird?
Man, you know, a lot of people when I tell them that's my artist name, they expect me to like walk in the room on my hands or something or something strange like that. But nah, it just more so comes out in spurts, and just the way I do things is not very much so the way that normal people would think or go about things. And of course, on top of that, there's the way that my visual branding goes, and it just kind of becomes like a burrito. But if you hang around me for like 2 days, it'll become apparent like, yeah, he's not that normal. It's in the way that I hoop, it's in the stuff that I'll go look up on the internet, just everything, you know. But it's not like, I feel like it would be like a gimmick if I just came in like, oh, y'all want to know what made me weird? And then like eat a bird or something, you know. But nah, yeah.
So in this age of social media, when everybody has an opinion about something, how do you remain confident in your abilities to say, this is how I want to do something? I'm gonna be this weirdo from Memphis, and I'm gonna be myself, and still, you know, sell 300, 400 tickets. You know,
man. Being from Memphis helps a lot with that. Like if you was here in like elementary and middle school, the moment you do something different or have like an off day or something, you getting rocked by like the whole school, and you really got to develop some tough skin to just be okay with that. You know, you got that. So I got a lot of my like ouch moments over with in like high school in terms of like, maybe the whole school feel like I had some bad moments, you know. When I got braids for the first time, I ain't have like enough hang time, so I had to have like weave at the end of them joints, just like all kind of joints. I'm talking about the whole school just pop their knuckles, like, you know, it's over with, right? Like you just go ham. After a while, you just really develop some tough skin. It's just a particular way that Memphians make fun of each other. That's like really like yikes after a while. And
you just check just for being fresh.
Yes, like what's up, man? You wore a good set today, didn't it? What you gonna wear tomorrow though? Like real quick.
Got your J's from the Nike store, didn't it?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and after that, by the time you're an adult, you're just pretty desensitized to it. So it seemed like woe is me back then, but now I kind of consider myself lucky because like internet stuff don't really affect us the way it affect, you know, normal people, man. So yeah, that kind of lets you stay stern on your vision. And then just being like, I think it was like junior year of college, you know, again, like I was really unhappy in like college, and I was like, the only way this is gonna work is if I put my all into it and not give up on it and just really go out and do it. So because of that, it's kind of like, hey, I could let you affect me and then let this take longer, or I could just drill through hate, love, whatever, and just stay, you know, eyes on the prize. And that seems to work the most, man. So after that show, it wasn't like gloating or nothing. Like the next night, I was back in the studio, you know, hustling. like the show didn't even happen, man. And I would have done the same if it went bad too, you know. Yeah.
I got a quick question for you. Describe what that moment's like when you say, because you have a song entitled "Fuck My Job," right?
Yeah.
So describe what that moment was like when you said, all right, like, fuck my job. I'm really finna I'm really trying to like do something with this rap career. Describe what that moment's like.
Man.
Before you go, like just a background story, because I've known you since the freshman year in college. Yeah. And I've known you, like I said, college, and then it was you getting that job. And then you did say F the job. Like I literally see you say F the job throughout like personal. So I'm happy Skylar did ask you about this. So
yeah. Man. Same year. I'm telling you, that year is pivotal, man. Junior year, except it was the end. No, it was right before junior year of college started, man. I finished my first internship, and I felt like it was the last day of the internship. I was driving home, and I felt like I was going to have a panic attack because I was realizing, like, hey, you just did good on your internship. At this point, if you just kill school, you're going to get hired. And you could work for like 40 years, get like a dope wife, have some kids, and die. And I was just looking, you know, and then we're in college where every day could be different. You could walk on campus and some people was backflipping or something exciting happening, or maybe y'all going road trip. And I like that variety and excitement and just feeling like you really like living life. And it just felt like I was about to leave that and just go to like the routine of adulthood. Like, all right, you had those 20 years like every kid gets. Now comes the part where, you know, the next people get to have fun and do whatever. And I was like, I'm not done, you know, just being human and figuring things out and having fun. And after that, you know, you fast forward and those feelings never quite went away, but they only amplified because now I'm trying to do like this rap thing. It's really hard because I haven't been rapping all my life, which, you know, just like with sports stuff, if you try to start late, you in for a lot of punches to the face trying to catch up to people that's been doing it since they was in diapers. You know, so I'm stressed with that. And, you know, with rapping and my job, neither side is going to sympathize. Like, rap is like, well, if you really want it, then you'll be here till 3 or 4. And the job is like, rap. Nah, this is what you're supposed to be doing. So, you know, if either side really bleed into the other, then something's going to, like, slow out. And in the midst of that, it was like, man, I ain't rapping like I want to. I'm feeling slow. Work is crazy, like fuck my job, like I just hate, you know. And nothing else was going on the paper that night. And when I pitched that, I thought that like the producer in the room at the time was gonna be like, "That's John Slob." He was like, "Nah, I feel that. Like, yeah, write more about that." So I just literally just wrote the whole verse about what be going on in the office. every sentence is just some real shit where I've been sitting there in my cubicle like, man, fuck you.
So you kept referencing your junior year of college. I know, like I said, freshman year you used to freestyle all the time. I know it's pretty much just doing it for fun. So what's junior year the time that you really got serious and said, I'm going to do it?
Yeah, junior year, I got fed up with everything going on in school. Like, you know, I'm in the frat stuff was going crazy. Like, all of it was going wild. So I just literally spent my whole refund check on a plane ticket to Columbus, Ohio, and spent every penny and just flew up there to go see a Tyler, the Creator show. Because at that time he wasn't touring like the country like he does now. You had to go to like a really big city if you wanted to see him. So it was Tyler the Creator, Kid Cudi, and they had Logic opening for him back when Logic wasn't famous yet. So like he coming out like, "Hello, I'm Logic. Please download my," like it was like that level. Like So and that show was magic because it was just like a field full of kids that didn't know each other, but they was just connecting off of how good the music felt. And I walked away from that like, man, I don't think I can sit in the crowd anymore. Like, I gotta be up there at this level at some point. And you know,
Do you still follow Lil B?
Oh, heck yeah.
Man, if anything, boy, that's a name.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
If anything, now people should be able to see like how that trend works. Somebody do something different, and then people just kind of shave off maybe the yikes moments of it, and like some of them people got Lil B elements in their stuff and be like getting the bag, but you know, but Lil B is kind of like, you know, he eats, but he don't eat like that, you know. But yeah, man, still a really big Lil B fan.
Who are some of your favorite artists?
Man, that's a long list. Tyler, the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, MF Doom, Kid Cudi, Space Ghost Perps, huge favorite. Even though we argued, ASAP. Let me see, Metro Zoo, man, it's a lot of underground, a lot of above ground, and all over the place too. Gary Wilson, who's like way not a rapper, but yeah, all over the place, man.
So you're definitely a upcoming underground king of Memphis, man, for real.
That's low, man.
What impact has Memphis had specifically in you and in your music?
Man, you know, of course. So, do you mean from a musical perspective?
Yeah, on a musical
perspective. Okay, yeah. It's funny, man. I listened to you know, Memphis stuff back when everybody else did, but around the time it was like super turning up, like 3-6 winning like the Oscar and all that stuff. When people was bumping that, I was bumping like all around the world. Like I was catching up on like Nas and Tribe and all that stuff. But it was in like 2011, I think my sophomore year, when I stumbled upon Space Ghost Perp. I was in the dorm room and I was looking, you know, we always had this stuff in Memphis, and whenever you always have something, you kind of take it for granted. So Chopping's always been around, 3-6, like all that. So it's like, yeah, that's over here, but I'm listening to this because like I like this because nobody's on it. But when Space Ghost Perp was way in Florida, back before the internet was the internet like it is now, and he was like chopping and knew every one of their songs and was sampling their stuff, I was just like, man, this is like magic. And it made me develop like an all over again appreciation for what we had here. And then I really started going heavy on like 3-6 stuff, all like the old 8-Ball and MJG stuff. Then I started getting influenced by both of those. And that kind of goes back into the name A Weirdo from Memphis. Like the Weirdo, obviously you got like your Tyler, your Earl and Doom and stuff like that. But then it's going to forever be mixed with like the from Memphis, like your appreciation for Pat, Tommy Wright, all the OGs. But I have to really go back and listen to it, you know, as like an adult and be like, dang, like this has been happening the whole time, and I ain't even been fully like rocking with it like that, you know. And now I'm a super huge fan, you know.
When people say that everything comes from Memphis and it's starting to come back around, you know, even with sports, entertainment, definitely hip hop being, you know, Memphis. You know, what do you feel about that?
Man, yeah, I think that the city, from like the people in power perspective, don't really do a good job of embracing things that Memphis will have, whether it's, you know, sports, music, whatever, and then we'll lose it and be like, that could have been a good opportunity, you know, like that's maybe sometimes with some of the picks that like the Grizzlies have had to build things up and then it don't go their way. Or, you know, like historically since the 60s, Memphis has been kind of like growing talent and then just letting it, you know, fly away elsewhere. Like the Antenna Club is from here. Most people don't even know what that is, but that's like a major staple for like punk music. And people won't even know because it's been like, the club has been like sold and turned into different genres, like Skylar, you know, the Renaissance Club. Yeah. That's the Antenna Club, legendary spot where like all punk people was traveling through, kissing everybody, was coming to perform there. Nobody even knows. Now it's a club with just a pole in the middle of it. You just be chilling in that joint, like, you know, it's terrible. So with rap, you know, I think that Memphis, a lot of things did originate here, and then by the time it gets sprinkled around, it looks like it's from somewhere else, and there's nobody even really here just truly defending their legacy or whatever, to the point where it just kind of get lost, you know, lost in the history over time, and then it starts to look like we just complaining and claiming everything by the end of it, but it's like, nah, like this really is from here. So yeah, I think we're kind of on like a last stand with just being able to just grab hold of what's ours and just really rep it, you know. Yeah, the more the internet makes everything available to everybody. Now you got like Swedish people that sound like, yo, this person gotta be from Memphis, and like all that. Like it's an important time to just go ahead and speak up and be like, nah, this is us, you know. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I rap and stay here. It would be really easy to just take what I've cultivated now. I got the authenticity, the Memphis dude story, all of it, and then just go to like LA or New York and be famous in like a year or something. But I think Memphis, you need to be able to go to Whole Foods and be like, bruh, I just saw all of them like shopping in Whole Foods. Like that excites kids, you know, like, and make them be like, I could do this here too, and kind of keep the cycle going, because we lose a nice amount of that.
And I was gonna say, I think that's so cool that you do that, just because like I feel like we talked about this before we went on air. I just feel like you're just like right on the cusp of like taking off, but you're staying here in Memphis, like you're making yourself accessible. And again, like I really appreciate you like coming on this podcast. Like you don't owe us anything. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, you're about to take off, so I definitely like appreciate that about you.
Man, you gotta show love, man. Like I just gotta, you know, just embrace where you're from. Like as much as growing up, it was like this place is kicking my butt. Now it's like these scars have become like my thick skin, and I gotta be like, I couldn't have got this from nowhere else but here. So I gotta like, you know, keep it what it is, man. And then my homies that have held me down way before the ears. You know what I'm saying? Like,
cool. Let's get into the sports, man. What's your favorite teams, man?
So NFL Cowboys, which, you know what I'm saying, shout out to last season, which was, even though it was still like yikes at the end, it was way less yikes than it's been like the previous years. Thanks. And then NBA, I wouldn't say I have a favorite team as much as I'm a big LeBron fan. So, you know, of course my narrative follows and follows wherever, you know what I'm saying? So I'd be temporarily aligning with homies when LeBron happens to be hustling there. So
cool. Yeah. Well, this will be the last question for me. Of course, this is the month of May. We're interviewing different artists, producers, and whatnot, and we just wanted to talk to you to see what do you think is the impact of hip hop in the sports world?
Man, I mean that will continue to forever shine bright, I think, as long as like sports are going on, you know. Until something more radical than hip hop happens, which I don't know what that could be. But, you know, I mean, forever hip hop has been like defiance and doing whatever you want and saying however you feel. And that goes right along with like a sportsman's personality, you know, like a sportsman is trying to, you know, of course there's teamwork, But then in the midst of that, there's wanting to stand out and be like the best you. Like you worked your whole life to get to these high levels, and now you're gonna stand out and shine. And you know, and that same like mentality with hip hop and just confidence has over the years super intertwined. And you got like your Allen Iversons and your like TOs. You got your catchphrases from sports, your dances. I mean, your catchphrases from rap that come in. You know, maybe you just shot a 3 in somebody's face and say like a Master P lyric or something. Man, rap people tend to randomly find themselves trying out for NBA teams.
Man,
like what?
I ain't never thought about that. I never thought about it that way.
I mean, even like the way that the rules have molded in the face of like sports trends. Like you wasn't rocking suits to like press conferences before AI was rolling up with the tats and the cornrows and like the one pants leg rolled up, you know, like all of that, man. Like they weren't concerned so much about cleat color before like stuff like that started to get integrated, or like what you wrote on your cleats. When you start writing like Crip for life or Squad Up or some shit, then they regulate, you know, and it's gone forever, I think, intertwined as well, like the earrings, you know. Take those out the game, like all of that. You know, so whatever rap does next, maybe we start, you know what I'm saying, rocking kilts or something, and then you look and it's a wide receiver, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, look, no kilts in the NFL. Like, it'll be
Odell that'll probably start.
I was gonna say trends always come back around.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
But like one last question from me. Seeing as though you and Sharky were teammates in high school, so what was your go-to song before a game, or what was the song playing in the locker room?
Dang, man, I'll tell you age too, bro.
It seemed like it was right. It seemed like it would always change depending on what month something was coming out. I know it was some extreme Flocka months.
Yeah, I was gonna say Flocka was heavy.
It was some extreme Gucci months. Then there would be some random stuff. It would just depend on who had control of like the boombox. Yeah, it would be like it might be like a random underground 3-6 tape while everybody lifting, or like if Coach Miller in there, he would randomly be playing like new stuff. I remember like what was that, junior year summer, the Carter 3 had come out. You could not get away from the Carter 3 for nothing.
There goes.
Right, they wouldn't even play like the radio song. They'd be playing a random like back of the album joint. Right.
That's amazing. Sheesh.
Like that made me wonder what in the world did they be listening to now? But like
exactly,
whatever trend be going on, they be right there turned up on this jump. Like,
those some heavy hitters. Now that you think about it.
All right, Alpha, man, we appreciate you coming through, man. We definitely finna see your sports knowledge. Let's see if you can hold your own against us, man.
I'm finna slow out. Let's do it.
All right. Remember, we are powered by the Binge Podcast Network. Shout out to iHeartMedia and 1019 Kiss FM. You can listen to us on any podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at LBR Sports 901 and join the Facebook group at the Let's Be Real group. All right. Topic list today. Got the NBA playoffs up. Well, starting the NBA period. Lottery nights. Shout out to the Grizzlies.
That was a
shout out to
night.
Memphis.
That
was a great night for the city.
That was depressing.
Nah, it was great. It was great.
We're going to do the playoff update. Conference finals have begun, and we'll talk about it when we get there. Magic Johnson, some news. He came in first second this morning.
Finally.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give another recruiting update for our Memphis Tigers, who seem like they finally got mentioned on ESPN. So shout out to Scott Van
It's
Pelt.
about time.
Yes,
About time, man. Yes.
Fly up there or something. Just put my boys on air just for 10 seconds. Just put my boys on there.
And we go to NFL news with Patrick Peterson getting suspended, failing a PED test. Then we end with our famous and our theme song. Is you trolling?
Is you trolling?
We gotta get you
the soundtrack.
We gotta get you to listen to it, bro. In case you need somebody to feature on the next song, hit up your boys right here. We ready.
I feel it.
Let's go.
So
Let's go.
speaking of Pat Peterson's suspension, before we start our NBA topic, Tyreke Evans got kicked out the league for filling drug tests also.
Word.
Similar to OJ Mayo a couple years ago. So
Hold on. Is OJ still gone from that?
Yeah, he ain't coming back.
He
from
can
that.
get stated, but he ain't coming.
He ain't coming back at this
Yeah,
point.
he's staying overseas now.
Yeah.
Dang, yo, I ain't even peeped it. But dang, was it weed both times?
No, I don't
think it was
it
weed.
couldn't
Nah,
have been
it was
weed.
PEDs, yeah.
I was hearing it was coke. It was
I
PEDs
said,
or
dang,
coke.
you can't even smoke no little weed at all.
I want to know. I often say I want to know how like folks like Matt Barnes was out there chilling this whole time.
Exactly.
Some folks definitely used to be out there like chilling.
That's a good one. Console Matt Barnes. Like, Matt Barnes, what is you doing? Like, bro.
Well, I tell you, she used to be getting drunk at halftime and stuff.
Exactly.
Sigh.
Yeah. But lottery night, Took. Shout out to the Grizzlies.
Shout out to the
Shout out
Grizzlies,
to the Grizzlies.
indeed.
Hold on,
Don't be
see,
up and down today.
Hold on, I'm not gonna be a bit. Hold on, first of all, don't call me like that because you know damn well I called that the Grizzlies gonna get the second
Yeah,
pick.
you did,
So
but you was all down on the Blood City Bus podcast.
Yeah, and it was
today on iHeart Radio.
Make sure y'all
Yeah, go check that out. Check that out.
Come on, plug.
Yeah, being on the Bluff City Bus, it did help immediately after the draft. We were able to do the episode. But I was more depressed. Y'all know the Knicks. I've been calling the Knicks having the number one pick for the longest. And to see that didn't happen, it was kind of sad. I was able to talk to y'all. Shout out to Trev and Sharky. But, you know, things happen. Shout out to the Pelicans. Whatever, man. Next person. I'll let y'all have it because it's like the Pelicans, they're the worst attendance team in the league.
Be in the mode.
They're in the bottom half, but there's a team that's worse than them.
Who, the Cavs?
The team that has a number 2 pick.
I was just about to say that, the
Yeah.
Grizzlies. So
gonna
it's
say
like,
the
you
other
give them the
Charlotte.
top 2.
I'm going to say also Charlotte.
We got
I
John
don't know,
Morant
man.
coming.
Huh? We do got John Morant.
We got
coming. I'm
John Morant
excited.
coming. So
Hold on. Do we trust the Grizzlies to go ahead
I
and
think
take
they did confirm it. I think they confirmed it.
That means
Stop.
nothing.
the front office has come out and
means
said they
nothing.
were leaning towards taking job, but
Stop this.
until
That means
Stop
nothing.
this.
until draft night,
Be positive. We got Jared Jackson last year. We got the front office, essentially. Let's go.
I'm finna abuse that clip from Dave Chappelle when he was doing that stand up when he was shouting out "Where's Ja?" Until draft night.
Man, shout out to the lottery. Lakers got a top 4 pick. I don't know how that
I
happened.
thought they were about to get the number 1 pick.
I really thought they was getting one too.
I was just happy the Grizzlies being the top 4. I was like, oh, they're top 4. Oh.
Yeah, because I didn't know how it worked out for us because I really wasn't paying attention to it, and so I just I think by the time they got to like the 11th or 12th pick, I was like, ain't the Lakers supposed to be picked by now? Then I saw they went to the top top 4 pick. I said, oh, hold on. Okay, this is cool. And so then the Grizzlies, I think they were supposed to be 8. They weren't there, so then they got moved to the top 4. I said, okay, that's pretty interesting. So then you get the Pelicans, you get the Knicks to go in there. And so I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. This theory of the Lakers probably getting Zion Williamson looks a little interesting right now. And so so then we end up getting number 4. But to know the Grizzlies got at least like a top 2 pick, I think that's going to be good. So, I mean, like I said, hopefully they follow the right decision and get John Morant. You would hope so.
Even if they take RJ Barrett. I want John Morant, but I wouldn't be
I like
mad.
RJ.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if they take RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a Duke fan. I was like,
I like RJ
Damn.
Barrett, but no, John Morant. If you're the Grizzlies,
Off what?
So-
You watch the lottery?
Yeah, man. I think I'm kind of like I got hyped for a second about the Pelican situation, but that's kind of like a weird place right now for Zion to go.
Yeah.
Just 'cause, you know, with the whole like Anthony Davis situation, it's like
it is weird.
it's like because now it's like is they gonna like squad up or and then I think the weirder thing is like the anonymous analysts keep on like trying to plug in like Anthony Davis and Kyrie ending up on the Lakers, and I'm like I just don't see like the Pelicans like messing with them that tough after like the way this past season went. So I'm kind of like slick sick because I'm like I feel like we need to devise a new plan.
can we just go on record and just say New Orleans is a football city? Because
Cool.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Who was debating
they
that?
all about the Saints there.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to
Yeah, the
go on
Saints
record.
own the Pelicans.
Hey, have you seen
Pretty much.
I've been to us. Have you seen the Superdome and the Pelicans?
Yes.
Sitting right next to it.
Yeah, they right
You
next
see
to each
how it
other.
looks like a house.
Yep.
For real?
Basically.
Is that
I can
bad?
show you a picture on Google.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Ain't the,
No
are they
joke.
playing like a smoothie center or something?
Yeah,
Smoothie King Center.
Smoothie King Center.
Bro said that like you get a tropical smoothie with a lot of ice.
Hey, it could happen though. So,
Hey, probably could.
Shout out to the NBA rewarding teams that didn't tank
Yeah.
because all the tanking teams failed. I mean, Atlanta, Cleveland, and Chicago.
Ouch.
They all dropped out the top 4, and New York dropped to number 3. So they definitely rewarded. Well, I don't think it's that proof it wasn't rigged to me on that one, but
Atlanta got 2 top.
I don't
10s,
know.
though.
I kind of the Lakers giant was kind of weird to me. Just like even how high they placed was kind of like it felt like shit. It felt like the atom bomb went off and they slid them like a little bit. Like let me just fuck with y'all just a little bit. Yeah. Like so I don't know.
I'm not. Yeah, and even as a Lakers fan, I'm not even like trying to think about who they gonna take because I know that pick has to be traded.
That's the bad.
That pick has to be traded.
That's the bad spot.
Yeah,
that's the top 3. You got them.
But no, I love it just for the simple fact we have the high pick, and then they also I think at the end of the day that sweetens our deal better than the Celtics. The Knicks don't nearly have a good enough package as the Lakers or the Celtics. So then I just thought it was between the Lakers and the Celtics, and whoever got the highest pick was going to have the best offer. The Celtics ended up, in my opinion, they ended up losing in this whole ordeal too. So you got to think about them. And so then the Lakers having the 4th pick. So then you have the current players that they probably both want, but having a 4th pick over like a 13th or 14th pick in the first round, yeah.
I don't want us to underrate the potential that RJ and Zion playing together would be too, because I think that'll be a great marketing point from New Orleans standpoint. You know what I'm saying? So don't count my Knicks out.
I'm really curious
because we still get Kevin Durant.
About this first season of Zion games, wherever bro go. Just like his body type reminds me so much of like first couple years LeBron, and I just want to know
big for no reason.
Yeah, I just want to know if bro gonna be disciplined enough to like really mold it down into like what he gonna need to like to slice through, or if bro gonna like be eating like burgers and stuff and just stay like that on like some, cause he ride the line. He ride the line between like going towards a LeBron body type or like a Big Baby Davis type. If he just let it solidify and like chunky up, like
that's a good one. That's a real good one.
It's the shoulders. He like right
you
there.
Checking, bro?
I mean, bro, he got that like youthful. He got that youthful weight. And that in like 2 years, that joint gonna solid up. And he gonna be like yeah, them dunks gonna stop.
What's funny is thinking about comparisons. I was on Twitter, and somebody was like, "What's the difference between?" Somebody was like, basically, Zion Williamson is a bigger or more athletic Julius Randle.
Nah.
If you
talking about bigger as far as
it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
If you understand, if you realize how Julius Randle
play,
how he plays, huh?
Can he play make? Can he get the rebound? And
have you seen him?
Yeah, have you seen Julius Randle play?
Okay. So when somebody said that's it.
Yeah,
that hurt.
Julius Randle is just taller. That's like the only difference. So yeah.
That's a good one.
I can see that.
Yeah, so I was like,
he got it. I think he got it. But at the same time, he worth millions. I know some people in bruh ears telling him like, "Nah, you finna eat this broccoli."
For sure.
Yeah.
Ironically, Julius Randle is his teammate.
Y'all done said Julius Randle.
Early
Early said Corey McGetty.
Like,
come on, man.
Think about it, bro. Julius Randle plays just like Zion Williamson. He plays just like him.
Bigger,
Whatever, man. Whatever.
You watch more basketball.
I do watch basketball.
Bang, bang.
I do watch basketball, homie.
Fire, Jesus.
You always come at me. You know I had to
I know. Julius Randle still probably won't play a lot next season, but whatever.
Man, he was killing in the second half of the season.
Yeah, but you know,
he's still on the
who's
contract.
coaching? Who coaching Pelicans?
Alvin Gentry. You didn't see his reaction when they got to know one big.
Nah.
Cash money.
I was sad that night. I was too busy trying to wipe tears sometimes. I was going through it.
Bro, everybody sitting there quiet, bro, like, woo!
I was hurt.
Let's go to your... Go and be happy for your Golden State Warriors who are up 3-0 on the Portland Trailblazers. And they're playing game 4 right now at this current moment.
Yes, they are. And they are winning right now, too.
Yeah.
So you a Golden State fan?
I'm a fan to the point of I think this is the greatest dynasty we've ever seen, and I'm gonna love and watch the basketball until I can't watch it no more. Like that's just me.
So
yo,
and I debate that with anybody.
The headlines have been rough for my G lately though. For KD, like them junts be getting hilarious. You seen that Shannon jump where they was like the worst thing for Golden State would be if KD came back. I was like, ouch.
That's why I'm a fan too, because people hate on the Warriors for no reason.
You know
they hate for no reason.
You know KD watch all this stuff though. He always that man at home eating cereal like, all right, we gonna see man somewhere mad as a mug.
Yeah, he responded to Sorry today.
What do you say now? I just want my boy to shut up, man.
He basically was
Just
saying,
shut up and play
well,
ball.
is this really the worst thing that can happen? Because Chris Rozier was on Colin Coward's show saying that the worst possible nightmare would be for the Warriors to win a championship without KD. And he basically quoted what he said on the herd saying, if this happens, does KD's 2 rings not matter? And KD basically responded and was like, is this really the worst possible nightmare? And then Andre Iguodala with the perfect response. Man, F these niggas, man.
People just be talking trash about the Warriors, like I said, for no reason. For one, we can talk about the series that's going on right now. And we know that Dame is hot. But at the same time, the Warriors are the 3-time champions for a reason. Like, their system ain't gone nowhere. Their core hadn't gone anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't have Kevin Durant, but they won a ring without him. And it won't be a nightmare if they win another ring without him, but at the same time, they did need Kevin Durant to win those rings.
Yeah, well, I want to get into that topic so bad. Just because I mean, like
another day for
that's another day.
Yeah, because people be playing KD for real, like for no reason. Like he be,
But
he
KD
definitely is a reason why they had those 2 rings.
KD invite them to do it though. You know what I'm saying? Because
True.
he be biting the bait. Like if you know what I'm saying?
really
Like, bro,
does.
people say something crazy about LeBron every other day too.
Yeah.
LeBron be, man, on HBO chilling,
making money,
drinking some
making
Fiji
money.
water. He don't never.
Come
you
to
gotta
the
say
arena
some,
drinking wine.
You got
No,
to
he
really
make-
put bro in like a corner before he makes some kind of statement. Like, man, y'all tripping. But like KD be literally on the social media directly talking to these folks.
Like he got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
but
least he came from his regular account today.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll say that.
But even to this series, it's like I'm with Took. This is one of the best runs in basketball that we've ever seen. Like to see the different versions of the Golden State Warriors over the past 4 or 5 years, like,
Yes.
and they're still winning at the rate that they are. Steph Curry, again, we talked about him last week, the week before. Like you got like when he struggles, you just like he's going to be due. And we talked about this in our group meeting. I was like, you just don't worry about Steph. He'll get it going, and once he gets it going, it's a wrap. And so you just like, and I think I said this like a month ago. Like Steph Curry is underrated. Like as good as Kevin Durant is, as good as Kevin Durant is, Steph Curry is that much underrated. Like you got to think about like he was doing this like before KD. He's doing this now after KD as he's injured. So it's great to see. And then one player that you just gotta mention, Draymond Green. Like
You did it for me.
Yes.
Draymond Green, when he really
moments.
puts his mind to it, and he ain't out here like just talking trash and like just trying to get technical fouls here and there. Like when he's focused, like he's a problem. Like
Yes.
low key Hall of Famer type numbers. Like for real, like his impact on the game is serious.
Yeah.
And another point, they own Portland. I mean, before KD,
Yeah.
Steph came back from injury and went off for like 40 points in overtime win the game in the second round.
I think after
like,
game 2, because I really felt game 2 was like their best shot.
right.
And when they lost that game, I was like, yep, this series is over.
Shout out to Iggy.
Shout out to Iggy.
right to the locker room.
Right.
Shout out to Iggy, though.
So the next series with this robot / alien, what Took called them, they finally won the game. Down 2-0. Then Toronto came and won. The fact they had to go double overtime and
That was actually a great game, but it got sloppy down the stretch.
Milwaukee didn't play well, and
They really did.
it took them double overtime to beat them. So they let you know how good Milwaukee really is.
And that's without Giannis, because Giannis fouled out early in that second overtime.
And play bad, even though he got
Yeah,
locked.
and he didn't have a great game.
rebound.
He did get locked up by Kawhi Leonard though. Put the clamps on him.
We'll see. He'll be back in game 4.
Bro, finna come out 30-20.
Is it more so that how good the Raptors are? I mean, how good the Bucks are, or how trash the Raptors just played like the last couple games? Because if we look at like what's going on, it's them pretty much giving Kawhi Leonard and say, "Hey, Kawhi, here's the ball. Go do make something happen." And I hadn't seen this kind of basketball from the Raptors really until now. So
Or
do y'all
is
think this could be panic mode or what?
Well, the other players not showing up. You got Mr. Don't want to take shots, Marcus All. What he did, everybody's not recognizing it. He did the same exact thing in Memphis. That's what frustrated us here in Memphis. Now Toronto fans are getting frustrated by the same exact thing. You got Siakam still scared to shoot.
I mean, he had 23 in his
Yeah,
past
I mean,
game.
yeah,
He had a good
About
game.
time.
But yeah,
I know about time, but still.
Kyle Lowry never showed them layouts. I mean, y'all,
Sheesh.
they should know that.
Yeah,
He showed up
exactly.
game 1 shockingly. He was the only one who showed up in the fourth
He
quarter.
good. He good for a game every like 4 games.
Well, I'm
There you
surprised
go.
that. In the playoffs,
Yeah.
he was laying there.
Yeah.
But,
Danny Green was hitting shots too, and I was like,
Shoot, he only hit one shot.
Yeah, he only hit one shot last game.
He was like 1 for 10. And Fred VanVleet was like 1 for
11.
Yeah,
shout out to Kawhi though. Like regardless, like he been over 30 these past like 3 games, right? Like sloppy basketball or not, like my G kind of coming out the gate right now. You know what I'm saying it's the Kawhi laugh. It's that giant.
Yeah, like I mean, this series has really made me understand how unbalanced the Raptors are. It's like Tuke said, like he got quiet, like he gonna get us 36 and 8 and 7. It's like then you got Kyle Lowry, right? Exactly. Like Kyle Lowry, like I said, he's good for he's good for a game every 4 games. That's bad. Like I said, Siakam, he won't shoot the ball, so it's just like dang. And then but he's keeping them in the game with his play. Like that's the thing because I think the Bucks are just that much better than the Raptors.
Yes.
Like I said, them like that. Like Giannis, he had a bad game shooting wise, but he still had an impact on the game.
23 rebounds.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
23 rebounds.
Yeah. So you have that. You didn't have a good offensive output for Giannis, and so you had other people stepping up here and there. Yep. But for him to not have a good game and still like have a chance to win that game like several times, I just think I was like, dang, like the Bucks are just that good.
I wonder how LeBron feels about George Hill right now. Because LeBron is serving.
He is serving right now for the Bucks.
Probably the same thing he felt about Rodney Hood.
Exactly.
Ouch.
But no, after just like kind of just reviewing the game, it's kind of like I called the Bucks and foul for a reason. I'm kind of still like ready to stick with it, honestly.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
So before we move on to Magic Johnson, I had to break up Terry Rozier. That happened.
Scary Terry,
man. First take be getting these hitters on there that's basically telling him everything.
And I commend them because they actually asked him the straight up questions. They don't be sugarcoating. They actually answer. You're right. They actually answer.
So shout out to Terry Rozier and Magic Johnson.
Terry Rozier, go get paid, man. Go get paid.
Hey, young hitter, get paid. Yeah. You can trade Mike Conley to the Celtics, like Savage said last week. So make it happen.
Please.
So, Magic Johnson, I saw a meme. Nah, it wasn't even a meme. It was the actual video from thing was named the movie with Nino Brown.
New Jack City.
He was in the courtroom.
I know what scene you're talking about. Towards the end.
He thought everybody talking about this bigger than Nino Brown. So everybody said that was Magic Johnson this morning. So
damn.
Golly.
Missed that at the table.
Social media is nothing to play with. Golly.
The internet remains undefeated, man. Remains undefeated.
That was another story. He basically called out. They asked him the questions. He called out Rob Pelinka, said he backstabbed him. What does he say? He wanted to fire Luke Walton. They wouldn't allow him to do that. He doesn't regret not telling LeBron or anybody. He don't regret doing it. He said he would do it. He would do that again if he had to do it all over again.
Yeah, and I've been on Twitter reading about it. And some people think that he's lying. Some people feel as if like he's just trying to clear his name. I mean, for me, I just think that makes sense, right? Like, I mean, why else would Magic Johnson, who really wanted to be in this position, asked out of the position like out of nowhere? You see what I'm saying? Like this is something he wanted to do. I mentioned this like last week. Like he was at LeBron's house like at midnight, like the day of free agency. So like for him to be like like out of nowhere, like no, I ain't feeling this. I feel like something bad happened. So like he said, like you have Rob Pelinka, who he told like when he brought him on, like you can have this job in 2 years. So you have that. So you had him talking about Rob Pelinka was talking bad about Magic Johnson behind his back. He couldn't make the decisions that he wanted to make, even though Jeannie Buss promised him that. So you had all that, and that's why like he abruptly left. And I just think that makes sense. I'm not sure what he would be lying about.
I want to know how much money Magic has lost being with the Lakers.
I don't think too much.
Not too much.
He's still part owner of the Dodgers, ain't
he? Yeah. Because he mentioned this to Jeannie Buss, and he mentioned that in an interview. Like he told Jeannie Buss, like, look, I'm not gonna be here that much. Like, so I still have these other means of income that I got to run and take care of, and so I'm not gonna always be here. And she okayed that. So I don't think he's losing sleep at all over it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I'm seeing what it say. Rob Pelinka says he's saddened and disheartened by Magic's comments. As Lakers fans, for you, Skylar and Trevor, what can happen for you all to have some kind of fan? No, I'm sorry. You okay? See, I'm savage.
Wow.
But what can the Lakers do to get you back on the fanboy? Because I know a lot of y'all are pretty pissed at what y'all saying right now.
I mean, I'm still there. I don't understand all the stupid stuff that they've been doing, which I now understand why. What's the reasoning behind it? But to answer your question, I just think, I mean, if we can get a second star or maybe even a third, all this will be forever forgotten. I mean, they talked like you've seen memes of LeBron and Kyrie. You've seen, I mean, the guy that I follow is talking about Kawhi Leonard. He's automatically coming. So for me, I mean, all this will be taken care of, and I mean, people will stop panicking once we get a second star. True. Once we can feel like, okay, cool, like we have a shot at the title. That's all Laker fans care about. We don't care about nothing else. We just want to win championships. That's it.
True. Trev, sorry about that. I was thinking about the Steelers, and I know y'all just like dysfunctional organization. So my apologies on that, brother.
You good? I don't even want to talk about the Steelers right now. Big man. I'm not going to talk about that. We'll say that for another day.
That's real, man. I think if they had like squeezed into their last little postseason pocket, Lakers fans definitely would have forgot the whole regular season. Like, this we've been waiting for.
Do you think like having LeBron James in the AFC, like those two things don't go together really? So do you think like Lakers fans would have been happy with the 8th seed and having LeBron James on the team?
Yeah, I think they would have.
Especially if they were facing the Warriors. So yeah,
yeah.
Is that who finished number 1? Golden State finished.
Yeah.
Dang.
But I mean, as a Lakers fan, regardless if you were the 18th or the 17th, we didn't. As long as like if we were in the playoffs and we understood, okay, like there's some structure, like things are in place, but but I would rather finish 8th than where they were now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and man, you just know postseason, like their Lakers roster didn't it was taking them some time to mesh, but a postseason shot with like a desperate like Rondo and like LeBron and them, they would at least it wouldn't have been a 4 and out. It would have been some turned up like last minute everybody watching. Like they would have been slick the finals like ratings wise like in the first round. It would have been turned up.
And now the Clippers are the best team in LA.
Dang.
All right.
Dang.
Yes, it is.
Free agency. I cannot wait.
Hey, if LeBron stay, I just don't imagine it staying that way for too long. Like he behaving with all this turned up media right now, but my G is not finna. It's not gonna last more than the season. Like
I'll say this: the Lakers are the reason that the Clippers have lights in their building. That's all I have to say.
And the Clippers gonna be the reason they keep them on.
Shots. Okay, I'll take the
OG Jerry West, man. That's all I'm saying.
That was a good one. I appreciate that one.
By the way, Brooklyn is overtaking New York also, so be ready for it.
I mean, KD ain't signed his paper officially, so you know, laugh not cry later. Laugh not cry later.
Yikes! I'm waiting on Brett to come back in his last game with his ankle brace and be like, all right, let's figure something out. If he come back before the season and he get his numbers, you think he stay or you think he take his ring and steal a piece?
Who you talking about?
KD.
He out regardless.
He's out.
He dipped.
He's
he
gone.
dipping. Yeah. He's a New York Knick without just official, you know.
I know even like the Golden State players have been like, yeah, we consider Brooke on, but like, I don't know. When did do something to you?
I just feel like, because I mean, I feel like if they win, which I feel like they still will, like at this point he has to understand, okay, I just feel like he's gonna want to be like, okay, like what can I do next? Like how can I challenge myself to do something better than what I've already done? Because I mean, I went to the Warriors, went there for 3 years, I got 3 rings, probably 2 NBA Finals MVPs. Like what else do I need to prove? Okay, let's go try to do it somewhere else. So that's why I just feel like that. I feel like that's why he's gonna leave.
It is real, actually.
And then Golden State has a lot of people they gotta try to pay. So because if you pay him the max, you can't pay Clay, and you risk losing him.
Well, you can do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be over the luxury tax.
Well, yeah,
which
that's true.
They're only don't mind.
Realistically,
They're not mine. Joe Laker better not mine. Being that luxury tax.
The Warriors will find a way to work him under. That would be no issue.
That's true.
You find a way to make that work.
But let's move on to college. Skylar, who got the #1 recruiting class?
Memphis.
Yes.
Precious Achua. Welcome to Memphis.
Welcome
to the 901, bro.
Hopefully Rajon Tucker stays. But we might get RJ Hampton if he does it. But we need the experience. But overall, this has been a great past 2 weeks, month.
Yeah, it's been fun following this.
Yeah.
For real. Like I haven't been this like into like college basketball recruiting in
A long time.
It's been a long time.
long
I'm
time
like,
for
I'm
me.
on Rivals. I'm on 24/7 Sports. Like, I'm like, who the Tigers finna get now? Like, who they looking at? Like this is cool. Like, it's fun. So but like you said, they got Precious Achiuwa, which is theirs. He's a projected lottery pick in the next year's draft. So to get him, I've watched his YouTube highlights, and what I like about his game is he likes to play the power forward position. You know, a lot of times you have people that hit sides of like, I want to be a stretch three. Like he's cool with being like in the paint, like banging bodies, like getting rebounds and stuff like that. So I'm excited to get. So I just think already like this is going to be like a really good defensive team. Like you got James Wiseman, you got Precious Achiuwa, like you have Lester Quinones, he's underrated as a defensive player as well too. So I just think they'll be really good defensively. So like. I'm excited. Like this is gonna be good. Like the FedEx Forum gonna be jumping in the fall, and I'm gonna be in there.
Yep. You see Penny, man, giving them their due diligence, like coaching wise, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's a good question to ask. I mean, because you can say that. I mean, it depends on what side of Penny. Like if you like Penny, if you don't like Penny, and people say like, well, he doesn't have the experience. But then you have people like from Memphis, like, I mean, he's been doing this for years. Like even though he hasn't done it on the college level. And I mean, even his first year was fine. Like he
didn't get coached.
He never, like we said, he never seemed overwhelmed for that to be his first year. So I just think he'll be fine. Like I mean, he's good at drawing up plays. You have Mike Miller, like he has an all NBA staff, so they'll be able to really make noise. I don't think he's gonna fail the team at all.
I am hearing that Sam Mitchell is probably gone. So
who
is he replacing him with?
Bro, the dough.
Oh man,
I don't know who they can get. I don't know.
Because
hopefully Larry.
They said they weren't going.
They're not going after Larry.
I think they was like Penny really want Larry his first year to mold him.
Yeah,
since he had that first year.
He had the first year. Okay.
What you really need him for? Because you don't want him to recruit because. You saw what happened here. You with him.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll say, and I'll echo Jason Smith because I mean he said, and I think it's important that he needs to find somebody like to the likes of Mike Miller, because you have to think about Mike Miller. I mean, if people are realizing like his ability to recruit, like because if you got to think about it, most of those players that they got, he had a relationship already. Those weren't Penny's relationships; those were Mike Miller's.
Yep.
So there's going to be a school that says, "All right, like let me see if I can pull Mike Miller away from this situation."
Or the NBA.
Yeah, or the NBA.
There is a little birdie that told me that Chris Bosh has been around the city of Memphis a whole lot recently.
Dang.
So just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. So they need to find somebody that you can potentially replace Mike Miller with. So I'm not sure who in the world that is, but you got to find somebody that's like, I don't know, like I know, like bring somebody on, like, because I know before LeBron went to the Lakers, like Gary Payton and it was Gary Payton and some other like former player that like their sons were like into like heavy recruiting like that. So find somebody, like I said, that's into college recruiting. So you got to replace Mike Miller at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Off him, or should I say DC? That's what I'm calling it. You was in Memphis with me. We used to go to games. Josh Patterson was the coach. So how you feeling?
Yeah, that's what made me ask that Penny question, because I never forget freshman year, like the fever for like basketball was in the air when Joe Jackson and them first touchdown, and I never forget just halfway through the semester, like just seeing them cooling and like being undisciplined around places and being like, yo, shouldn't you be like holding it down somewhere or something?
I think he was more so eye candy for the women that attended the games rather than the coaching and progression of the players.
Yeah,
like everybody at this table can tell you how much I strongly dislike Josh Patterson.
Yeah, it was kind of.
I'm with you on that one.
It was kind of rough to watch because it felt like some of them. I mean, yeah, there was the hype of that roster, but it also felt like some of them genuinely could have like did something a little bit better than.
It's all in progression, because how can you play for a coach really when you really don't trust him and don't like him? You know what I'm saying? A lot of players, even the youngsters like Joe Jackson, Chris Crawford. You know, they won't listen to the pastor. You can't be buddy with Memphis guys, you know. No. So I think with Penny coming in, you better listen to Penny or you won't be playing.
All right. Yep. Yeah, them folks would be like posted. I would be like, bro, you in this shit? You know, going to school with them folks definitely would just make like the results make sense. Yeah. And I would be like, all right. You know, so that's definitely what made me ask that Penny question. But you are right. I mean, I know definitely from just even like high school experience, like coaches like that probably got like definitely like a way more stern face behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Like disrespect. Then with like the stats of, you know, to back it up to being like this what I did, what you got. Like I definitely
So I got a quick question. I know amongst people that I follow on Twitter, and I follow like a lot of alums, so we're all pretty excited about it. But I guess my question to you are you hearing like from the people that you surround yourself with? Like I know you've had a couple of news articles and stuff written about you. So are there people outside that are mentioning the Memphis Tigers and like in the wave that they're getting?
At least on Twitter, my Twitter definitely I've seen like a lot of like Memphis Tigers. Okay. So I think at this point I hate the way. That's why I like Twitter because it still like got like the timeline that kind of like matches when things first happen. I think that on Instagram it just kind of shows like crazy big music news or like random goofy stuff. Whenever I happen to like double tap to the top, which end up being ugly memes and cartoon stuff, you know. So I haven't seen much about it on Instagram, but I mean like y'all might even be posting about it. It just gets shoved to the bottom, especially when like with just the me starting to know people that can garner in like 5 or 10,000 likes, like they stuff just be sitting at the top of my junk.
Yeah, I got you.
But on Twitter, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, move on to really quick the NFL. Seems like news. We haven't been talking about the NFL lately, but we know it's coming back.
Slowly but surely.
Tyreke Peterson was like it was like a report that he was going to get traded to the Chiefs, and then he fails this. It was like
this is after the season.
No, like just a week ago.
Just a week ago.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't see that.
He failed the drug test, like right.
Got him.
At the time. So 6 games, man.
Sheesh.
How y'all feel about Pat Peterson?
They drug tests must be really strict to be catching folks like that. Yeah. Like they probably like. I remember when I tried to do like the Air Force, like they literally like watch the tip of our joint to see. They was like I tried to like huddle up near the toilet. They was like toilet number 3, take a step back, and they like watch like they gotta be on that level to be flapping folks like that.
Learn something new every day.
I swear,
yeah, bro. If you on that strict stuff, like they gotta be doing that because otherwise, most relaxed organizations will walk out and you can smuggle some warm pee in there. Junk.
Oh, so nope. Drop your pants,
right.
sir.
Yeah, it was 6 of us just in a line.
Oh boy,
very like all type of junk.
You know what's even worse is like that's somebody's job is for you to just
and they get paid good money.
Right. Exactly. I bet them Brett Head they might like bet.
Right. They pay good money to do it too.
Wow.
And Brett Head
the qualifications for that job gotta be too.
Man, experience.
What the pay though?
What the resume look like to get the top like that, bro? Like,
this conversation went far now.
I mean, I'm just saying because like that's a yikes because these are serious like career-ending situations. You got to know the test got to be
with a line grease sit on like, come on,
right? Like I don't like the look of it.
Oh boy, I can see Samuel Jackson doing some stuff like that.
Like, oh, is your wall just so purple? Oh, you done messed up now. Turned up on folks.
Okay, I'm doing, bro.
Shout out to,
I appreciate that. I needed that. Like,
shout out to the Chiefs. It seems like they can't get it right though. So, I don't know. That's all I
whatever happened to dude from the Chiefs? Wasn't the dude from the Chiefs that like that fought the woman?
No, he didn't fight a woman. Yeah. He just kicked her in the butt.
Yeah, because the full length of the video was like, yo, she was tripping though. Like, so I'm really happy he got picked up by another team.
And he finna win a Super Bowl.
Right. What was that?
Wait, hold on. Did I miss that as well? Tyreke Hill went to the.
No, he's talking about Kareem Hunt.
Oh, I thought he said Tyreke Hill. That's what I was like.
Wait,
what?
Him too. Damn. I mean, yeah, him too.
My Steelers gonna be slow.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like the Ray Rice video, and then that you like, come on, my G. That Ray Rice jump, that was a clean, nice hit. This jump was like a squabble.
Deontay Wilder, wasn't it?
Shout out to Wilder, man. Shout out to Deontay Wilder, man. 10 seconds of death, guys.
He said
he was gonna try to
kill him,
and he did. He said he gonna try to kill him.
Oh yeah,
he didn't say the exact word.
Yeah,
but he was saying basically.
I said somebody want to get them checked out for real.
We're in a sport where you can legally kill somebody and get paid for it. And he was like, so why not exercise that right?
At that point, I'm bagging out the fight. Exactly. I'm not even gonna lie.
Boy,
get me out the
the knockout when it sounded off.
You trying to assassinate me? I don't need that.
I couldn't play UFC, bro. I saw a knockout the other day, but dude,
right,
dude face, bro. I was like, no, no, sir.
Super early trolling now. Which two pieces better?
Shut up.
So you got the number 2. You got the number 2 from Popeyes. You got the.
Let's get ready for our troll and our theme song.
I truly hate y'all. I truly, because now it's like we got to answer it, huh?
Yep. So 2-piece from Popeyes or 2-piece from.
So I actually have 3 options. You have the 2-piece from Popeyes. You have the 2-piece from Deontay Wilder, the knockout, and then you have the number 2.
Please don't. Nah.
No, we've done well not mentioning this episode. Come on now.
You better mention my Chris Childs 2-piece on Kobe. But anyway,
It has to be done.
Anyway,
It has to be done.
Deontay Wilder is fresh. He did say you can legally kill the man in the ring, and he won knocked him down 10 seconds. So I go with Deontay Wilder.
Took your care of there.
I'm going Deontay just because it was first. Same thing with Jockey.
I don't know which one I'm kind of just distraught more that we got to answer this question or the fact that y'all were able to bring John Wall into this conversation.
Jockey
again.
said last week you had to happen. It's going to happen.
And shout out to Game of Zones.
Hey, if y'all don't watch Game of Zones, y'all check that out. It's hilarious.
I haven't seen the episode of Game of Thrones, but Game of Zones over Game of Thrones.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. I ain't seen the episode of Game of Thrones
You
yet.
almost walked out the door after that one.
I'm good, and I heard a lot of people pissed about Game of Thrones right now anyway. So I'll have
I
to
heard
watch
about
Game
the
of
last
Zones.
episode. There was a last episode of the series, and I heard it was trash.
But to answer your question, I'm gonna roll with the Deontay Wilder. Like that was, woo.
Oh, yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah,
if you hadn't seen it,
it's on Twitter.
Yeah,
people had to pay pay-per-view for that.
Huh?
People had to
it
pay
was
for that.
it was on. It was either pay-per-view or if you had like
People paying
Showtime.
$100 for 10 seconds of work.
It's like the folks.
you got to see
What
it.
about
though.
the people who at the fight?
Dang.
Right.
I mean, no, I'd rather be at the fight.
I'd rather be at the fight than pay to watch it.
It's probably worth it
How
though.
much you dropping though?
No, the thing is, like, if you late for the fight and you just walking in and you realize that's the problem. That's the problem right there.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
For me, I was just be like, I was there to see the fight. Like I was there. Like that hit will go down in history free. You can say, well, I mean, I was there.
Now you gotta lie. You got a lot of your friends. You saw you was saying one of man.
Exactly.
Right. But then
No,
all
damn
the
well.
photos on your Instagram stories were already on the ground.
Dang.
Do y'all watch like the minor, like more minor fights too? Did any of y'all catch the Michael Venom Page, John?
So the fights leading up to that little to it.
I was watching Gold State play Portland that night. I think.
Yeah, Michael Venom Page was like an undefeated dude. He was in, I can't even remember what the league is. It's not UFC, but oh my bad. But the other giant, shoot, he was like undefeated, like 15 fights in though. Like he had some really ruthless victories, but this man finally got knocked out. But it's kind of heartbreaking.
I missed it, but I know I've told myself I definitely want to get more into like UFC and go back into boxing. I think for me, I was really big into it, like when Tyson and stuff and like Lennox Lewis and them was out. So I was into it then, but I think just over the years, like a lot of times I felt like it was rigged. Yeah. So they just pulled me away from it. And plus again naturally, like I ain't finna pay $100 for no fight. Like I'm a whole millennial out here. Like, bro, come on, man.
You just reminded me. We was at your house when Manny Pacquiao whooped. Who was that? Sean Bradley. What Bradley?
Timothy Bradley.
Timothy Bradley.
Yeah.
And
Sean
they gave
Bradley.
Timothy Bradley the win.
Sean Bradley.
Hey,
That was funny.
It was.
That was
Oh,
a
man.
I know they messed Manny Pacquiao up, like, cause they had to just mentally really affect bro. Like it started. I think that started like a string of jumps for bro.
Yeah, because he got it, Adrian Broner, in his last fight.
Shout out to Adrian's like trash talk leading up.
Yeah.
To this. That's some of the most.
That's the most hilarious stuff
That man
you
got a
ever
box
seen.
head for real.
Yeah.
You ever seen bro head? Like he got a whole square on the top of his head.
Back to the trolling all, man.
I forgot all about it.
I mean, we all voted.
Yeah.
What's yours?
I think I'm gonna go with the Popeyes. Yeah.
You gonna I got one. Based off of what we're seeing from the Warriors, I don't think I've said this one before, so I go ahead and throw it out there. Trolling out, Steph Curry has solidified himself as a top 5 player in the league.
You talking about all time or
No,
this
just right
year?
now.
He
This
wasn't
year?
he wasn't in top 5.
He wasn't. I was definitely saying
Because some people
would
say James Harden, some people say Russell Westbrook with the triple double. Some people
put
based off of last series, some people probably put Dame over Steph Curry.
All right.
So
But
Stop,
I think
stop watching them trolls.
I
man.
think the,
I mean, I'm just saying
Stop
this
listening.
trolling out, all right.
Yeah, okay. But
I do gotta say this because somebody gonna say, okay, let me count to 5. Okay, KD, Kawhi, Giannis, LeBron, Steph. Somebody gonna be like, no, AD. Somebody like, no, Harden. You get what I'm saying?
I would.
You get what I'm
think.
saying?
I would be
think this-
honest. I wouldn't even put LeBron in there as far as
See,
this
now you going to troll territory. I
me
wanted
and
to go
you
there.
will be
I wanted to go there,
over here.
but I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for that yet.
Right. Now let's not be disrespectful here. Like my man, okay.
No, I'm not knocking LeBron as not being one of the best. I'm just going based off of this season.
He still averaged like 27, 8, and 8.
My man averaged 28, 8, and 8. Like Jesus Christ.
Hey,
Sheesh.
remember, that was the first season when he got hurt.
That offended me.
So
That
let's be real
offended
now.
me. I'm like, hold on now. He missed the playoff one time, and now he's not.
I'm sorry, man.
I was going off the season. I was going off the
I
season.
think LeBron is still there, but also I do think Steph. I think the way that Steph's situation like played out this season, like they was definitely starting to try and like D Wade, bruh, in terms of like sweeping him into like a like y'all only continuing because of this, John. And the way that bruh immediately, without thinking twice, executed the moment like KD went down, like it was so perfect in terms of like cementing like. Don't do that to Steph. Like, nah, he definitely is like one of the most dangerous weapons. Like, and then I think the way that he does it opens the door for everybody else to like really be themselves too. Like, definitely like I think your Draymond like stretched back out like these past few games. It's definitely been with that Steph confidence coming back into play. Like, yeah.
So is that a no?
Nah,
you got Steph Curry in the top 5?
Yes, I definitely got him in this top 5.
Everybody else?
And LeBron as
We
well.
in agreement? I'm ready for the LeBron. I want to say LeBron so bad, but I'm not going to disrespect him just yet.
Please don't be
Just yet.
But
I did see somebody post on Facebook that Steph might be the best point guard ever.
Okay, let's not get disrespectful.
That's a
Now that's getting disrespectful.
well, I was say it's not a disrespectful question. If
It's
you
not
wanna-
disrespectful at all.
And I'm a huge Magic Johnson fan, but Jesus Christ, Steph Curry, his impact. It's
I think
It's
Steph
up there.
Curry may be the best player to hold the point guard position, but maybe just as far as like point guard and running a team, I don't think he's the best to do that. If that make any sense.
nope.
It don't make, because the best point guard to me is Magic Johnson, but
Okay.
the best player to hold the point guard position may be Steph Curry.
You
get what I'm saying with that?
Because you say with today's quote unquote point guard is more of a score first.
Score
type-
first, so you gotta be a
first type
scorer
of
as a point guard, yeah.
And Steph would definitely be that top guy as far as today's mode of a point guard.
Because at the end of the day, on the Warriors, like Draymond's still the best playmaker on the team. It's just Steph Curry has a position of point guard. It's like when Allen Iverson, he had the position of shooting guard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, he's kind of one of them things to me.
shout out to Ja Morant for saying
Speaking
that
of point
he's
guard,
gonna be one of the best passers ever in the NBA.
shout out to him.
Shout out.
He's a point guard. Make sure y'all check out
Yeah.
that interview. He's a point guard.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Ja Morant, man.
I'm excited just for this summer for basketball. Period. Just free agency, summer league.
Yeah.
It might be lit. It might be lit.
I pass.
You good.
All right, remember?
We are powered by the Binge Podcast Network. Shout out to iHeartMedia and 1019 Kiss FM. You can listen to us on any podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at LBR Sports 901 and join the Facebook group at the Let's Be Real group.
All right, another great episode.
Great episode.
Yeah, big things happening here in Memphis.
Oh yeah, Alpha, we appreciate
Yes.
you coming through. You got any shows, any projects coming out? I know you just did a show Friday, so you're trying to recover.
Yeah. I'd say, man, just go download my EP. You Going to Jail Now. It's available everywhere. Just search AWFM off them on Google, YouTube, whatever, and things will pop up, man. Just go listen to those things and be on the lookout for the new pretty soon, man.
Hey, where can we follow me on social media?
Off them with the Memphis spelled out, so that's AWF Memphis on both Instagram and Twitter. I pop up, or just Google it. Yeah, I pop up pretty quick.
Man, definitely appreciate you for coming. Like,
Yeah,
I said,
man.
like me and you got one of the relationships that we don't know how long it's been. Like you just stopped counting. Like I said earlier, like I definitely appreciate you for doing this. Like you were like you were really exceptional. Like you have a problem with nothing. So I appreciate
Man,
it.
much love.
I think he's starstruck.
Low-key.
Like we didn't, man, go through the trenches together.
Like whole LB over there. Like I done seen some things.
Right.
Hey, I went to the trenches with you before. In the football field.
And South Wind, like woo.
Physical muddy trenches. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
But anyway, we out.
Peace.
Yo, this is all from checking in with Let's Be Real podcast, and yeah, turn up.